Hi everyone, I'm Ken from Crypto Trading KS. Let's run the numbers. Bitcoin up 2.93% to 62,240. Ethereum up 3.06% to 4405. My goal is to assist you to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love, and also gain real wealth in the process. I've hidden knowledge gems throughout this video. Unless you watch to the end, you'll miss them. See how many you can find. Rule 774. Master yourself to master the market. After being in financial markets for more than 30 years, this rule is incredibly important. If you don't master yourself, you will let fear guide your decisions. Letting fear in control of anything is not a good idea. But when fear is in control of your financial situation, it will wreak havoc. Feeling worthy is a really important way to combat fear. You are worthy and unique. You deserve kindness, love, meaning, and every success in life. Approaching life from this perspective unlocks all the categories of real wealth. Integrity, decency, kindness, courage and honor, inner and outer peace, fulfillment, meaning, purpose, empathy and love. They're all really important aspects of life, as well as money. Of course, money is incredibly important. Money is definitely security, but all the components of real wealth outside money give life meaning. I'd like to talk to you today about fear. You either defeat fear or fear defeats you. When looking at chaos zone analysis, the 4 stages that all investors and traders progress through to become consistently profitable and attain real wealth, Zone 1 and Zone 2 are all about fear. Zone 1 is about panic. That's when people want certainty but they don't get it. Financial markets do not give certainty. It takes time to understand this, but initially people panic. They're pulled in with fear, uncertainty and doubt, and fear of missing out, the FUD and the FOMO aspects of the market. Zone 2 is the blame zone. It's all about when certainty goes wrong. There's external panic, conflict, attacking others. Zone 1 and Zone 2 are 2 zones that all investors and traders progress through. They're just quite normal. Zone 3 is the patience and rule zone, where we have probabilistic fearlessness. When investing or trading, and we know all investors become traders whenever they buy or sell, it's really critical to refuse to let fear limit you. That's because fear makes you retreat from life. That's why a lot of times in Zone 1 and Zone 2 behavior, we define it as the light switch or the light switch effect. When people are just new to markets or just new to investing and trading, they require 100% certainty, to be 100% correct 100% of the time with 0 losses, either actual or paper. When they feel that something is going wrong, they can act like a light switch, the light switch effect. They either go all in or all out. When progressing to level or Zone 3 or Zone 4 behavior, it's all about probabilities. We know that it's all about having a strategy. If things go the way you expect, have a strategy. If things go against you, have a strategy. It's all about probabilities, scaling in and out, patience and discipline, being aware that there are bad things out there, but not letting them freak you out. It's just normal. Moving from Zone 2 to Zone 3 requires hope, confidence, and belief. This creates progress. But hope, confidence, and belief are not enough. You need rules to defeat fear. This is really worth saying again. You need rules to defeat fear. If you're encountering some sort of fearful situation, create your rules to combat that fear. Do not let fear limit your life. Fear is not that powerful. It is just a shadow created often by our imagination. And these imaginary shadows, when you shine the light of rules on them, they will disappear and lose their power. Looking at Bitcoin's technical analysis, we can see Bitcoin has a lot of headwinds. There's the Evergrande situation. Janet Yellen's unrealized capital gains tax, FATF recommendations, the FOMC meeting, Mt. Gox rehabilitation, the debt ceiling, the Ripple case, crypto lawsuits. There's so many headwinds for the crypto industry that you could be really, really fearful. But rules defeat fear. We simply trade the chart that we view. We're looking at this chart of Bitcoin. We can see Bitcoin overcame this initial resistance. It found a level of support, got through a secondary level of resistance, turned it to support, but failed. And what do we see here? It's eking out. It's emerging from the shadows. Go, Bitcoin, go. It's on its way back up. It's overcoming this resistance. It's finding support. It's actually moving forward. But with all of these issues in the market, we still have our layer buys down at support levels, and we have our 10-5-10 volatility fund, which was talked about in episode 265 and is also available to the Coffee Club members. That's Coffee Club episode 03. We're expecting that there's potentially volatility inside the market. Prices could go up and down dramatically. But do we worry about that? No, because we have rules and we don't panic. We don't suffer the light switch effect. But why don't we just switch on and off? Surely if the prices go down, we could just buy more cheaply. We know that the crypto industry is growing far, far more quickly than the internet ever did. The crypto industry is literally the upgrade to the internet of money, the internet of value, from the internet of information. It's going to change the world. Bitcoin is the flagship crypto, the original crypto, and Fidelity Investments believes and has estimated that $1 million per Bitcoin from 2026 onwards and 10 million per Bitcoin from 2030 onwards. Now, when we look at Bitcoin's price and we are aware of all of these headwinds, should we buy or should we wait? I would suggest, if you know that something is going to $1 million per Bitcoin, and there's no reason to believe it won't, and no reason to believe it won't go to 10 million as well. This is for many reasons. Bitcoin has a fixed supply, and there's so many other reasons that I'll talk about in a different episode. But the concept is, you know Bitcoin is going up in value. Now, as an investor, that should give you a lot of confidence. Riding out these up and down waves, you see the price is always going up. Turning to the KS Bitcoin long view model, we can see phase 1 has the explosive takeoff. You remember many months ago, phase 1 was just down here. It was just a little baby, just peaking above the phase 4 of the previous cycle. And I said, we're just getting started. Many people thought it would collapse. No way. Bitcoin is mathematically programmed money. It does very specific things. Of course, black swans can impact what Bitcoin does and what the crypto market does. And we can get those, but that's just a unique buying opportunity. We look forward to those inside our community. We are a fearless community. On Medium, I wrote the article back on May the 25th about the KS model predicting that Bitcoin would be 486,000 by May the 25th, 2022. The KS model is a crypto technical trading model based on institutional price psychology. It breaks the particular segments of market structure up between bull market psychology, bear market psychology, and consolidation, between halving events. And we use halving events for very specific reasons. That's in the Medium article. I've left the Medium article's links in the description of this video. What we can see here, I still believe that Bitcoin is going to peak around 486,000. Now, there's a real difference between it staying at 486,000 and just doing a long tail rejection up to 486,000. The other thing to note, That makes the KS model quite different from just about every other model in there. We make specific note of the actual black swan events that hit the crypto market. As you can see, there are many of these lightning bolts that hit the crypto market all the time. They hit all the markets all the time, really. These black swan events, such as the COVID crisis and the US liquidity crisis, can distort, well, actually they do distort price momentum. Many people use these actual prices as meaningful things. They need to be normalized. We had this excess blow off in liquidity occurring through here. That's the liquidity blow off. Now what happened was there was so much money entering the market that all asset values got inflated, and that was simply blown off through this 50+% correction. Now we've normalized price behavior. We're appearing as though we're about to board the rocket for the trip up to the moon. Of course, we need to compare apples to apples, bull market psychology to bull market psychology to bull market psychology. Comparing sunshine of the bull market to darkness of the bear market is not really good. If you want to attain the same perspective, you need to compare similar units. If we look back into the 2016 bull run, we can see that it basically exploded in price. This exponential blow off top is what we're looking for to hammer in the end of the bull run. But so far we're not seeing anything like that. Also, you should pay particular note. This chart looks very nice on the way up, but it witnessed 30, 20, 30, 40% drawdowns and then 50% drawdowns. It's really important to understand the path to the top is really, really choppy. That's why when we look at Bitcoin, we are expecting 20, 30%, 40% reductions in price, but then massive increases in price as well. This is just part of the fun and games. That is the crypto industry. That's why it's critical to make in advance probabilistic choices and to always know price is negatively biased. So what does that mean? Price tends to come down. When it comes down, it tends to come down hard. Of course, we have a lot of optimism in the market. This is the 2016 bull run. I've just gone back in the KS model and shown you the previous blow off top. What we see is there's a lot of variability. We don't have any problem seeing a 80, 90%, 70% increase in price. We love those. But the negative side also exists. There's a symbiotic relationship between the longs and the shorts. The longs heat the market up, the shorts cool it down. The longs heat the market up, the shorts cool it down, so it can sustain its parabolic increase in price. When it gets too overheated, we see these massive corrections. This is a reason that we never FOMO in. We don't have fear of missing out. We're simply buying at layers. We know that the price is always highly variable and is attacked by external influences all the time. We put our layer buys in around the current price action, and professional traders also have a 10-5-10 volatility fund. Not just traders, all investors become traders, but traders do invest as well. The 10-5-10 volatility fund is just well away from the price action, seeking to capture long tail spikes. Layer buying, 10-5-10 volatility fund. The 10-5-10 volatility fund was explored in episode 265. It's incredibly powerful. So many members of our community have made very nice amounts of money and become more of a financial blessing to themselves and those they love using this technique. Bitcoin is currently trading at 62,116. We have support below at 61,302, 60,198, 59,394. That's quite a key one, a good one. 58,038, 56,909, and very strong at 54,135 and 52,658. In the crypto trading KS community, we use rule 307. Excitement is a delayed fill. Haha, excitement and delayed excitement. Delayed fill really refers to the filling of buy orders, pre-made buy orders at support. Look at this long tail rejection. Many people in the community slurped this one up because they had buy orders waiting. Just imagine if you had a buy order waiting here, you're already profitable. That's why we do this. We use the volatility of the crypto market against itself, if you like. We protect ourselves from the volatility. Returning quickly to the KS model, we can see the rocket making its way up to the moon. The rocket of the bull market. When people talk about to the moon, they're talking about this exponential ramp up of prices that hits the moon, and the moon says, "Get out of here, rocket," and the rocket goes back to Earth throughout the bear market and then capitulates where it lands on Earth, and then it gets rebuilt and takes off again. I'd like to thank Nick, Tales from the Man Cave. He created this Bitcoin rocket. Look, it's burning dollars. How clever is Nick? And it's making its way up to the moon. And the moon says, "Get out of here, rocket. Go back to Earth." And it hammers in the high, and then the rocket gets rebuilt and it crashes off and seeks out the next moon to party. It goes back to the moon. Thank you, Nick, for your incredible artwork. Of course, if you have something creative and you would like to share it with the members of our community, please let me know. I'm available through multiple channels. Just have a look in the description of this video. Turning to Ethereum, Ethereum is currently trading at 44.04. We talked about it yesterday that ETH looked really good, around 3,900, and it did, didn't it? Congratulations to all those people that went in on ETH. We can see ETH obeying this beautiful support line. Very, very nice play, ETH. Congratulations, ETH. We can also see that there's levels of support below where we can expect potentially long tail rejections, and that lowers the average buy price. We're looking at support at 43.75, 43.16, 42.03, 41.66. Now, if things get interesting in the market, for example, the market reacts to Evergrande, we will expect lower prices, 36.49, 35.90, and so on. You have to have that strategy in play. Be aware of the risks that are in the market. They're inherently risky to be in markets, but you know the long-term trajectory of things. Things are looking quite good, but always have an upside and a downside risk strategy in play, and don't panic. Don't suffer any light switch effects. Just gradually scale in and gradually scale out if you wish. Let's get a bit of a feel how all the other markets are going. Now, why do we do this? Why don't we just focus on crypto? There's a very good answer for that. The main markets give us an indication as to investor sentiment throughout the investment universe. We need to keep an eye on it. It's really important. The S&P 500, the proxy for stocks, up 41% for the past year. Gold down 5%. Bitcoin up 360% for the past 12 months. When we look at the main markets, we can see the fear gauge of the market, the VIX, the volatility of the S&P 500 index was coming up, now has started to back down. And we can see that the NASDAQ 100 is rallying. The dollar did a bit of a bounce, but now is making its way down. We can see bond prices making their way up, bond yields making their way down, gold decreasing in value, and light crude oil just wobbling around a little bit. I would suggest that this looks a bit like it's under resistance. Well, it is actually under resistance, but that could be a sustained move under resistance unless it can get back above there. Now I hear you ask, what does all this mean, Ken? What it means is we have had a V-shaped recovery in the NASDAQ, the technology index of the largest stock market in the world, the US market. Fear is way down. The dollar is decreasing. Basically, what we can see here is that things are looking good. Investor confidence is returning to the market. That's what we want for Bitcoin and, of course, all your beloved alts. Looking at the Crypto Fear and Greed Index, it's currently 70. It's decreasing in terms of the optimism, but this is really good. This is allowing us buying opportunities. Looking at the Bitcoin stablecoin supply ratio SSR oscillator, we can see that it's been decreasing, and actually that is always reflected in the price of Bitcoin. This can give us a leading indicator as to what is happening. We were expecting that there would be a slowdown, a kind of correction if you like, because so many holders of Bitcoin were at a 100% profitability rate. We can see here on Bitcoin's percentage supply and profit, we dropped from 100% supply and profit to 92%. We're back up to 94%. If you look at these previous highs, that is really, really healthy stuff. This is what we want. We want some variability, especially as we eke over the previous high. Looking at Bitcoin futures open interest across all exchanges, this undeniable relationship between the price of Bitcoin and the futures open interest is literally undeniable. We can see that futures open interest across all exchanges, nearly 23 billion. We can also see this kick up in price. We would expect a kick up in current total open interest. And that is exactly what we have. Total current open interest is 24.27 billion. Across the past 24 hours, 143.66 million in liquidations occurred across 43,590 traders. Over the past 12 hours, 70% of liquidations were short, and we can see we're not really getting much volume in here at the moment in terms of liquidations. As we can see when we look at Bitcoin's technical analysis, the number of shorts in the market for Bitcoin is not at a high level. We're not seeing any real spiking. This gives an indication that the shorts are pretty scared of shorting Bitcoin at the moment. It should be noted that the shorts are incredibly intelligent people. Shorting can really go against people. That's why I always argue that you must use spot until you really know what you're doing. Please avoid any leverage, any derivatives, trading them if you're not a perfect artist at spot. I've seen so many people wipe out their accounts literally within the span of half an hour. You can literally lose everything under leverage. That's why I don't promote any leverage-based exchanges. Let's have a look into the engine of the crypto industry through Rule 109, Enhanced Pattern Recognition. This is an incredibly profitable rule to apply. Looking towards the top cryptos on Binance, we see MATIC is up 26.6% for the past 14 days, followed by Luna, DOGE, Solana, Atom, The Graph, AVAX, Link, ETH, Axie Infinity, BNB, Theta, Aave, FTT, Algo, ICP, Litecoin, DOT, TRX, and then Bitcoin. We can see this dip in here. This is what happens when Bitcoin's gravity hits. Bitcoin is literally a gravitational body in the crypto space. If Bitcoin goes down, you can be assured that the alts, the vast majority of alts, will follow it. It's just the way that it works. Sometimes you get divergences, and they're fantastic. They are what we want to see. both positive and negative. We use those to our advantage as investors and traders, and we always know that all investors become traders anytime they buy or sell. There is something very valuable hidden in these 8 charts. I would like to see if you can see it. What we're looking at is Bitcoin, Ethereum, Binance Coin, Cardano, XRP, Solana, DOGE, and DOT. With these 8, please let me know in the comments if you see anything specific, and let me know what you think it means. There's one thing that should draw your attention to that particular chart. It could be a really interesting leading indicator of what is going to happen in the crypto market. Please let me know in the comments section if you see something that is interesting to you. Okay, let's have a quick look through. We can see that Bitcoin has recovered from that previous dump, if you like, previous correction. Ethereum making its way up strongly. Binance Coin doing the same as ETH. Cardano still below the sell-off level. XRP below the sell-off level, 2 levels of resistance above. Solana doing well, but just a little bit below the sell-off level. We can see Doge is above the sell-off level, and we can see DOT is almost back to the sell-off level. There is a literal hidden gem in one of these 8 charts. Please let me know what you think it might be. I haven't covered it. Let's have a look at the next 8. The next 8 are Algo, SHIB, Luna, Uni, AVAX, Chainlink, Litecoin, and Bitcoin Cash. The key thing here are the patterns. What you want to look at is the patterns. How to compare one pattern to another is an incredibly important skill. Let's have a look. Let's go through quickly. We can see Algo is still below the Bitcoin sell-off line. SHIB doing very well above that Bitcoin sell-off line. In fact, the meme coins are having a party of their own. Luna still below the sell-off line, but we can see a really concerted effort to get above it. Uni below the Bitcoin sell-off line and under resistance. AVAX below the Bitcoin sell-off line. And when I say the Bitcoin sell-off line, that's just the recent one that happened. The past one that happened is this other horizontal line down here. Chainlink below the Bitcoin sell-off. Litecoin below, and Bitcoin Cash below as well. Just a quick question. On this particular page, these 8 charts, if you were a trader, which one of these 8 would you find most interesting? Would it be Algo, SHIB, Luna, Uni, AVAX, Chainlink, Litecoin, or Bitcoin Cash? And more importantly, why would you find it interesting? Please let me know in the comments. Let's have a look at the next 8. We're seeking to find patterns and to recognize patterns and how they play out. This is literally subconscious learning. By looking at so many patterns, when it comes to your beloved alts, you'll look at them with completely new eyes. Let's have a look at Stellar. Stellar is below the previous Bitcoin sell-off, where MATIC is above. Cosmos, Atom, is still below. We can see Filecoin still below and a lot of resistance above Filecoin. It's interesting to see ICP is starting to get above its resistance. ICP could potentially turn around in perhaps the next week or maybe even the next few days. Having a look at Axie Infinity. Axie Infinity continues to be an outperformer. It's making a lot of money and it's doing really well. Conventional analysts would be drawn to Axie Infinity. We can see it's above the previous Bitcoin sell-off. FTX token, FTT, is below the Bitcoin sell-off, and Tron is also below. You can see how powerful Rule 45 is. No alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. Looking at the next 8, we have Ethereum Classic, Phantom, Theta Token, HBAR, Tezos, Cake, Elron, EGLD, and Monero. Out of these 8 charts, which one do you feel has the best technical setup for positive momentum? Just let me know in the comments. I'd be really interested in your ideas. We can see Ethereum Classic still below the Bitcoin sell-off. Phantom just pretty much on the Bitcoin sell-off, just a little bit under. Theta token under the Bitcoin sell-off. We can see a lot of these alts are still underneath the Bitcoin sell-off. That just happened. Tezos making its way up strongly. It wants to take out that previous Bitcoin sell-off level. And we can see Cake looking quite weak under resistance. EGLD just below the Bitcoin sell-off resistance, but we can see it's making its way up. Monero starting to get above this level of resistance. When we do this analysis, we're actually focusing on the patterns of the different charts, having a look how they increase or decrease, how they rise, how they fall, and of course how they compare to each other. The specific price levels, don't worry too much about it. Looking at the next 8, EOS, the Graph, Aave, Flow, Clayton, IOTA, Quant, QNT, and Kusama. Something really interesting is here. I'll discuss it with you because I think it's really good to point out to you immediately. What we can see, EOS is still below the particular Bitcoin sell-off line. The graph is below as well. We can see the graph has got really good upward support. We don't mind what particular alts are doing. I think there's always a degree of understanding. When you get into an alt, you really need to know if it can survive crypto winter. If something is just a fad, the likelihood of it surviving is not good. If it's got an ecosystem attached to it, it is good. Or if it's locking in certain things, it has network effects. That's what we really look for inside projects. Look at Aave. Aave, when the Bitcoin crash occurred, it basically shot all the way up. There were many people on Twitter. We were tweeting about Aave and saying, wow, look at Aave. And we know no alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. What happened to Aave? Aave literally rose up more than 40% and then proceeded to have Bitcoin's gravity crush it back to its support line. This is a really important thing to understand about these sharp spikes. They can often reverse, especially, we can see one in Clayton here, especially if Bitcoin's gravity is moving contrary to it. That's a really good point to actually understand. We can see Flow still very much under resistance. Poor old Flow. What's happening with Flow? It's not flowing at all well, is it? We can see Clayton, very spiky chart, but it's recovered from that previous sell-off in Bitcoin. IOTA is underneath that previous Bitcoin sell-off, as is Quant, and Kusama is also below. I remember when we were talking on Twitter about Aave, that many people said, wow, Aave is going to go right to the moon. It's defying Bitcoin. And we always know as a community that you can get these defying moments, like a defining moment, defying moments with any particular alt, but they generally get hammered by Bitcoin's gravity at some stage. Poor old Aave, that happened rather quickly. Aave shows Rule 94, how important it is to buy at levels of support and let price come to you. We don't chase price. We're a really cool community. We don't chase anything. Having a look at the next patterns, we can see NEO starting to overcome resistance. It's still below the Bitcoin sell-off line, but it's coming back. We can see Waves still below and still under resistance. Harmony is looking really good. Look at this power. Harmony is exhibiting a lot of power at the moment, and it's above the price. The price is above the previous Bitcoin sell-off. When we look at Stacks, Stacks is below, but has broken out of a level of resistance. It's a little bit spiky. We need to see what Stacks is going to do. Maker, MKR, is still under resistance, but it's starting to consolidate out. Rune broke out from resistance and is partying hard. Go Rune. BTT is also getting above this resistance, consolidating above support. And HNT is rocketing. It's having the time of its life. Let's have a look at some community favorites. Veracity VRA still doing really, really well above support. And we can see Icon it's a really strong project, Icon. We can see it's bounced up. It's gathering a lot of momentum. It's seeking to take out this resistance and turn it to support. I think it will do so quite well. Decentraland, Mana, wow, look at that. That is quite a pump. And it started pumping when Bitcoin started dumping. Oh, that's a poet. I'm a poet and I didn't even know it. How cool is that? The next level of resistance for Mana is around the 180 mark. We can see Basic Attention Token doing a similar thing to Mana. How cool. It's going like a bat out of hell, to forgive me Meatloaf fans. Okay, what we see here is that it's overcome resistance, and that particular sell-off in Bitcoin sharply reduced BAT's price, but then it just flew. It just took off like a bat out of hell. Okay, let's have a look at MTV. MTV is continuing to make its way up. Looks quite nice technically. Cartesi is seeking to do everything possible to get above that resistance line. Go Cartesi, you can do it. Engine Coin, rocking and rolling. We can see above resistance. We can see some very nice support lines taking off here. I think Engine could do very well. CRV, we can see CRV continues its uptrend. It's getting a little bit choppy, but we could expect that with the recent sell-off in Bitcoin. I'd like to thank all the very kind and generous community members who reached out and bought me a coffee on buymeacoffee.com/cryptotradingks. Thanks so much, everyone. I'd like to thank Jack, Sarah, Adrian, you're a legend too, my friend. Anthony, who looks at our channel as the yoga of crypto. How cool is that? You're awesome. Vicente, thanks so much, my friend. That's really nice. Vicente says you always give more than what you receive. How lovely. I very much appreciate all the generosity for people that have reached out and bought me a coffee. What I do each month, I just put a special post together in the post section as my way of saying thank you very much. And I just share some tips and tricks to just provide a little bit more value. It's very much about me just saying thank you so much for your generosity. There are currently 3 coffee club videos on this particular site. They're all accessible under this one. And I will be putting together a new coffee club video in the coming days. It will be a really interesting video. I hope you like it. I'd like to thank all the community members who've reached out and emailed me to express their interest in the upcoming masterclass. In the masterclass, I will go through the trigger process. I've never covered the trigger process on any of the past videos because it's such an important thing to have all the foundations in play. I always cover off trend and timing according to rules 174, but the masterclass is all about the trigger and a much deeper dive on trend and also timing. I think you'll find it immensely valuable, and it summarizes my 30+ years in financial markets as well. If you would like to lock in your masterclass discount, please email me at ken@stanfield.com. StanDfield is StanDfield. The way I like to explain it is that I like to stand in a field. I don't know why, my ancestors must have had a sense of humor. I've literally been overwhelmed by the response. I mean, literally. If I haven't managed to get back to you, please just send me a gentle reminder and I'll make sure that your very substantial discount is locked in. Fear is an incredibly powerful force in life. You either defeat fear or fear defeats you. The beauty of trading and investing is you're basically up against fear all the time, and when you have rules you can defeat fear, and you can defeat fear in your entire life as well. Trading and investing is an incredible way to unlock real wealth. Fear can suck all the joy out of life, and in investing and trading it can cost you dearly. Refuse to let fear limit you. Instead, you can use rules to defeat fear. One important way to defeat self-sabotage, the fear of succeeding, is to know that you're wealthy and unique. You deserve kindness, love, meaning, and every success in life. I hope you found the content useful. Please consider sharing and liking this video if you think it will help others. Thank you very much to our moderators for keeping our community safe from scammers. Please say hi and let me know where you're viewing from and if you have any questions. If you would like daily updates on price movements in the crypto market, please subscribe to YouTube. I've left helpful links in the description of this video. Please remember, crypto is volatile. Always prepare yourself for the best and worst case scenarios. Reality will likely be between them. Stay safe out there, take care, and see you next time. Bye for now.